Our topic is to prove astrology as pseudo theory. Why is it a pseudo theory is done by me, and the evidences and who developed this theory was done by Sanjeev. Why doesn't this theory work is done by Prince, and why is it a pseudoscience is done by Jasmine.
No, I got rejected again from this position. Oh, I think I found a solution to my problems. Let me give it a try. Hi astrologer, how are you? I saw your ad on my mobile phone, and I wanted to ask you something about my career. So can we meet? Okay, I will be there. Hi astrologer, when I will get a job?
Please tell me your birthday and birth year.
Yeah, it's 14 September 2004.
And your birth time.
I think it's evening time, 5:30 p.m.
Okay, let me just draw your birth chart. So, according to the movement of the celestial bodies in your birth chart, I predict that Mars is in your 12th house and Venus is in the 11th house. So, according to that, you will soon have a job.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Astrology is an ancient practice that seeks to understand the influence of celestial bodies on human affairs. Its origins can be traced back to early civilization, where the movement of the sun, moon, and planets were observed. These observations led to the foundation for astrological systems. Despite being advancements in science and technology, people resort towards astrology to know about their career, job, marriage, etc. One medium of astrology nowadays, which is quite popular, are horoscopes. People always look towards horoscope for their day-to-day update in their life, which are based on zodiac signs. In the brief journal article, Why Astrology is a Pseudoscience, Paul Arthagard claims that astrology has been in practice since ancient times in Chaldea around 700 BC. He says that horoscopes are a contemporary way of getting access to astrology. He further claims that astrology divides the sky into 12 regions, according to which the zodiac signs such as Aquarius, Libra can be determined. The sun sign, which is the position of the sun at the time of the birth, is crucial for determining the individual qualities of a person. The ascendant sign, which is also known as the rising sign, changes every 2 hours, so the time of the birth is crucial for its determination. Even though these signs are elite, the other signs such as Mars, Venus, Jupiter are also used for determination of human activity. Mars governs drive and courage, and Venus governs love and energy. The god also claims that astrology was so eminent in ancient times that Julius Caesar had his horoscope cast during the fall of the Republic. Even though astrology was quite popular, it faced many critics. So, the god says that verifiability and falsibility can be used as a criterion to prove astrology as pseudoscience. Even though these principles were proved right by astrology by the use of celestial bodies, later on these things were proved by the principles of psychology by using the Gestalt, behaviorist and Freudian theories.
Hello everyone, here I'm going to talk about why doesn't this theory work. Inconsistency with astrology. Astrology aims to provide personalized insight based on the placements of a classical structure at the time of an individual birth. However, the Forer effect suggests that due of their generality and ambiguity, individuals might take these astrological interpretations to be correct rather than any personal insight. Because of the impact, which illustrates how easily individuals may be convinced that a generic description fits them well, it calls into doubt the validity of astrological claims. First of all, the Forer effect draws attention to a potential weakness of human judgment and perception, but it also helpful in psychology in determining how individuals interpret information about themselves. Forer effect draws attention to a potential weakness of human judgment and perception, but it also helpful in psychology in determining how individuals interpret information about themselves. It highlights how evaluating one's own self-evaluations require critical thinking and how psychological assessments must be based on precise scientific methods rather than unclear assumptions. The Forer effect calls into question the ability of astrology to provide personalized insights and highlights a crucial aspect of human cognition that has been extensively researched in psychology, the inclination to perceive general claims as having personal relevance. Over the past 60 years, several rigorous studies into Western astrology have repeatedly shown that astrologers are not able to predict events beyond chance. Twin studies have proven the core premise of planetary influence in astrology to be false. These findings unequivocally demonstrate that science is better than astrology. This set of documents provide a useful guide for handling a variety of beyond chance. This anthology of papers provides a useful framework for addressing different forms of pseudoscience. Mainly in India, astrologers are called by Jyotish. So, Jyotish in India need to be treated similarly. It's critical to keep in mind that these type of projects, which are simply search for evidence, supporting or contradicting ideas, are unlikely to advance scientific knowledge and have a little scientific value. It's not financially feasible for astronomers and cosmological organizations to expend valuable resources on demonstrating the veracity of scientific findings. Teaching humanities major and undergrads, especially those majoring in psychology or sociology, and including these subjects into their curriculum would be more fruitful. For several reasons, our efforts are unlikely to have much of an impact on Indian opinions regarding Jyotish.
Thank you, Sukman, for such a beautiful introduction of our team. So our team Enigma is working on the project of astrology. So we'll be discussing in this project about the astrology as in pseudoscience. So this theory was discussed by a scientist, a psychologist whose name is Paul Sagan. He developed a theory why astrology is a pseudoscience in 1979. In his work, he mentioned that astrology is a pseudoscience. He states that astrology is a pseudoscience because it cannot provide any empirical data, any scientific supportive data to support that astrology is scientific. So there are no any complete evidences to support that astrology is a scientific, that Paul Sagan states in his theory. So his work was quite impressive and we discussed it well. We have some evidences, we have some critics as well to criticize his work. So it states that astrology is a pseudoscientific because any hypothesis that doesn't complete the verifiability and falsifiabilities, that is always fail, as we know that. So he also states that the astrology is a pseudoscience because it is unverifiable and it cannot be falsified. So in his statement he has discussed several points like how astrology is not relevant to the human activities, human destinies, human mental and physical abilities to predict something like future.
Hi, do you have questions related to pseudo-astrology? Let's discuss it. If I talk about evidences of pseudo theory of astrology, there are several experiments and services conducted in the past by researchers, scientists, and psychologists. One of them was a double-blind test theory of astrology by Sean Carlin. With the help of natal charts, he conducted different two theories and tests. One is for self-recognition, and another one is matching ability. Carlson's motivation for his study was to provide a clear scientific evaluation of astrology. He wanted to determine whether astrologers could match individuals with their correct astrological charts better than chance. The double blind test method is used, he used in his theory, is a gold standard in scientific research. So I wanted to discuss about how this test structured. Firstly, Carlson recruited professional astrologers who claimed to have the ability to accurately match people with their astrological charts, and then he also took participants in his study who were not astrologers, provided professional information such as their birth dates, times, and places, and about their job, careers, and too many things. Each astrologer was given 3 astrological charts, one that belonged to a participant and 2 the cause. The astrologer's task was to match the real chart with the correct participant based only on the provided information. Like the results of Carlson's study were revealing that astrologers were no better at matching charts to participant than random chance could allow. In statistical terms, their success rate was not significantly different from what you would expect if they were guessing. This finds suggest that astrologers' ability to match charts to individuals were not supported by the evidences. So results mean that Carnell's study is a significant piece of evidence against the validity of astrological claims. It suggests that the ability of astrologers to accurately predict personal details based on political positions is unfounded. This study aligns with other scientific investigations that have similarly failed to find support for astrology. Of course, no study is without its criticisms. Some have argued that the methodology used by Carlson may have that flaws, or that this sample size was too small. However, subsequent studies have largely supported his finds, like reinforcing their charts towards astrology scientific validity. In last, Sean Carlson double-blind theory of astrology provides a clear scientific examination of astrological claims. The results indicate that astrologers' ability do not exceed chance, casting doubt on the practice, practice. And this study highlights this importance of applying scientific security to widely held belief, and encourages us to seek empirical evidence before accepting such claims.
Hey Sanjeev.
Hi, Wagner.
Last week I talked to an astrologer and he said I will be a millionaire next month.
Oh my god. Do you have any evidences about that?
No, but I believe in astrology.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna give you some key points from some critiques regarding the astrology as a pseudoscience. Okay, are you ready for that? You
Yeah,
want to listen
yeah.
to me?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. Thank you so much, Sufman, for representing our team Enigma and introducing all of our team members. So I'll be criticizing about the Paul Sagar theory relating to some key personalities that we have studied. So and we have also mentioned the key personalities in our Tom project. So first of all, key personality is Thomas Kuhn, who believes that scientific advancement occurs in orderly manner, not in the pattern. So he means that the scientific evidences and all the data that shouldn't be in the pattern. It should be in the orderly manner, so that it can be interpreted, it can be reliable, it can be convenient. So it disagrees with the Paul Thager and says that astrology is not in pseudoscience. It can be totally reliable and it can be totally justified. And second of all, we have Ptolemy, who disagrees with the integration and advancement of the psychology and astronomical insights. So he believes that there is no such things that affects astronomy and psychology in a very different way. He thinks that psychological aspects can be determined and fully reliable with astronomy. So, for an example, if a person thinks that a planet's revolution of the planet direction can determine someone's future, then it should be then it affects this person's mentality. Like my friend Wagner said that he's now confident that he's gonna get the $1 million after a few years, but we can't rely on that, right? So last but not the least, there's another one critic who criticizes the Thager's theory. He states that Thager's theory overlooked depth and complexity of the theory, which means that there is a symbolic interpretation, symbolic aspect that overlook the psychological insights which can affect you in very different way, which means that there are certain symbols in the sky that may reconcile with your zodiac sign, which can predict your future, and a person can be psychologically very fit, psychologically strong, believing that he's gonna achieve the greater things in the future, and be be stable in a good way, be stable mentally and both physically. So his arguments made clear that Thager's theory is not valid in front of all these critics. So I want to pass it to my another team member. Thank you so much.
Now I'm going to explain why astrology is a pseudo theory. It is a pseudo theory because it lacks empirical support, failed to provide valid explanations, predictions, and scientific approach. One of the major concerns is lack of empirical evidences. For a scientific theories to be verified, observations, data collections, experiments are necessary. As empirical evidences provide scientists to test ideas, create hypotheses, and then provide a solid information. But in this theory, it is mostly based on the accidental evidences and some uncollected data which cannot be verified and uncertain. So, in this area, because of the absence of the empirical proofs and the pseudo theory cannot be verified or validated, also lacks falsifiability. According to the paper, a theory must be testable and disprovable to be considered as scientific. Uh, as this theory dodges falsifications by including unclear explanations, also this theory also lacks in predictive power. A successful scientific theory must provide futures, observations, and other events, but this theory falls apart in this area. According to the Shermer, pseudo theory fail in this regard by offering only explanations which fits in the past events and doesn't give any framework for the future predictions. The failure to provide future events and their predictions, this theory considered as useless instruments for exploring the world and the understanding. Furthermore, it also lacks the peer review and scientific explanation, which is another concern. In addition to this, to the drawbacks of this theory, in addition to the drawbacks of this theory, there is also this theory also had adverse effect of moral and societal consequences, which promotes misinformations and undermine the public trust in science. As we know, in this era of social media, false information can spread very easily, then which can escalate misunderstandings. There are many reasons why this theory is considered as a pseudo theory. To conclude, our group thinks that astrology, being a pseudoscience, mostly relies on the evidence which is not falsifiable. We think that people believes in the astrology because it makes them feel better by relating their life to the stars, to the outer space, and suns and stuff like that. While we think that it's a human psychology to admit the things which make ourselves ease and feel better and comfort, we also agree that Thaggards make arguments against astrology being a pseudoscience, which is based on the modern evidences and other viewpoints from analytical psychology and Jung structures, dynamic of the psyches, which makes complex pictures of the pseudo theory. Again, as our group thinks that astrology has a significant impact from our day to day life, it is shaped our thinking in a way that without even having the scientific evidences and other any scientific proof, we think that it is affecting our life and our surroundings in that